Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about how I passed the CWNP CWNA in around, I think, two to 3 months. You can get it done much faster because this is a pretty simple cert. The reason why it took me so long is because I have a full-time job and um, what else? Oh yeah, I did it through the holidays, so I took, quite a few breaks in between. It wasn't continuous studying for this one. Um, but overall, I would say that while training material for this one is limited, it's it's a it's a decent cert. They really like to ask you about types of antennas on the test. Which can be important for wireless work, but not necessarily for the type that I was doing. So, um, if you want to get the cert, these are the resources that I use. This is going to be a pretty quick video. Number one is CBT Nuggets. They haven't updated the course for the new updates to the test. I think the test has Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7, things like that. But the CBT Nuggets course doesn't cover 6E and subsequent versions. So just be aware of that. Number two is the official study guide and practice test. When you buy an exam voucher from CWNP, you can choose to include it with the study guide and the practice test, and it's a pretty reasonable price compared to something like CompTIA, which will charge you like $800. I think total price for this was around $350, which is honestly not too bad, but obviously I was able to get my work to expense it. You should look into having your company expense it as well if they want to get you certified in a vendor neutral wireless cert. And then last but not least, I used an LLM. I was using Perplexity, so I was using Sonnet 4.6, GPT 5.4, and now that Grok 4.5 is out, you can use that as well. But the reason why I say this is because some of these concepts you just won't understand first try, even though the CBT Nuggets explainers are really good. Things like fast Fourier transforms, inverse fast Fourier transforms. Well, those are two related concepts. The types of antennas, how they propagate, azimuth versus elevation charts, etc. Clever mnemonics to help you out with remembering things like that. It's just very useful to have an infinitely patient teacher that can reword things like you're 15 or 5 or something along those lines. So if you aren't already, would highly recommend augmenting your studies with the infinitely patient tutor. I would recommend using voice mode because it's always better to talk aloud, think aloud with your concepts. And if you're going to do voice mode, you should definitely do GPT since they just released their new real-time model, which is it looks to be pretty good. It helps you follow your train of thought more cohesively rather than having to wait in turns for the model to respond back. But I digress. So that's about it for this video. My background is that I had a BS in network engineering, a CCNA, and now CCNP. And I have, a network engineer job, but I wasn't doing wireless engineering work before I got this cert. I wouldn't say there are any prerequisites for this cert other than basic networking knowledge, where you can honestly have the Network Plus and still do well on this test. So that's about it. Thanks.